Hey y'all, for anyone who got that the title of this video was a reference to one of my personal favorite TV shows of all time, How I Met Your Mother, then kudos to you. You are my friend for yes. But today we're going to look at a guy who should have done just that, who should have waited for it, he should have waited for a word from God, he should have maybe just waited for God's word to come to fruition. But he didn't. So if you would, we're gonna be in a couple things, but first and foremost, we're gonna be in Genesis 15:4. A little background before we start. We all know the story by chance. We all know the chapter. This is the chapter that God promised Abram he'd make his descendants as numerous as the stars. But this verse, these verses are focusing on Abram had no children, and in those days it was customary if a man had no children for his oldest male servant or his oldest male subject in the house to be his next heir. Wasn't too highly regarded, but it was something. But anyway, just a little background so any of you are not yachts. But after Abram said, "This is going to be my heir," Eliezer of Damascus, that's hard for me to say, and the Lord said to him, "This one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir." Turn with me to Genesis 16:1. We're going to be in 1 and 2. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and she had an Egyptian maidservant whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, "See now, the Lord has restrained me from bearing children. Now please go into my maid. Perhaps I shall obtain children by her." And Abraham hated the voice of Sarah. Me and some of my castmates joke about this sometimes. We say that, "Oh, Sarah just said, oh, you want me to go into your life? Well, go into your maidservant, take her into my bedroom, and, well, whatever you say, honey, whatever you think's best." But, but you see here, he didn't, you see, they just did that on their own strength. They didn't pray about it first. They didn't seek the Father's counsel. They just went for it on their own. My friends, a lot of times you can be waiting on something, and you're waiting and you're waiting, and I get it. I can imagine by the time Abraham and Sarah are pretty frustrated. We're pretty frustrated. You know, the Lord said, I shall make your descendants as numerous as stars, one of your own that'll be your heir. I can imagine that they were pretty frustrated that it seemed that the Lord wasn't following through on his promises. But the issue here is they did things their own way without consulting God. I believe if they had consulted God on this matter, this whole issue with Ishmael and Hagar could have been avoided. Now, God did show mercy to Hagar. That's worth pointing out. Even when you sin, God does show mercy to you. Just like when you sin. But we can be waiting on something like, say, a spouse or a child. Like, I've been waiting on a girlfriend, and I've been waiting on a spouse. I try not to want one, but sometimes it does. Sometimes it does get yoni. And I've tried by my own strength to get one. I'm not afraid to admit it. But in hindsight, she was a really bad girl for me. That just goes to show you when you wait on the Lord, it may be a long time, and I understand why you can be frustrated, but when you wait on the Lord, as He promises, He will bring good to those who serve Him and are faithful to Him, even when it gets frustrating. And who knows, it could turn out good for the moment. You not heeding the word of the Lord, and you heeding the word of men, and you heeding the word of even yourself. It could turn out good for the moment. I mean, Ishmael wasn't a bad kid. I mean, he wasn't. He had no say in the matter of if he was conceived by Hagar and Abraham or not. But when you wait on the Lord and wait on His promises, as we see in the next chapter, the child of promise, Isaac is promised Sarah in the very next chapter. When we wait on the Lord, He's got the best for us. The best is yet to come when we wait on Him. When we do it on our own strength, we run the risk of crashing and burning. But if we lean on the Lord, lean on His promises, lean on His strength for support and guidance in our life, seek His will, seek His counsel, then we can rest assured, knowing we will have the absolute best, because God desires that for us, just as He desires for Isaac and Sarah. My friend, I hope this helped to give someone as the sound of my voice today. I know it's hard, but just wait a little longer. Just hold on to the Lord's promises a little longer. Don't listen to the eyes of Satan that tell you, oh, the Lord abandoned you. You should just take matters into your own hand. No, don't do that. Because I can only lead to destruction and heartache. Just as it did with Abraham and Sarah, Hagar and Ishmael. Sarah was terrible to Hagar, and they eventually had to leave the camp. They had to go out into the wilderness and do it on their own. The Lord was faithful to them, but Ishmael was never God's plan. Ishmael was something God allowed to happen, but he was never God's plan. God's plan was always Isaac, because he was the chosen. He was the best for Abraham. He was the fruit of both him and Sarah. If you just waited a little longer on God, just as Abraham and Sarah should have waited a little longer, I guarantee you, God will give you more than you can ever imagine. Because that's what He desired for you. Thank y'all for watching my video. I had really a good time making it as I do all the sermons I put on here. Thank you for all the support you all have given me just watching my videos, and I see some stuff on Facebook when I post on Facebook telling me that I do a great job. I listen to the voice of God, and when you listen to Him, you can never go wrong. Thank you for your encouragement. I really appreciate it. God bless you, and I'll see y'all next week.